Y'all, I skipped right over fall movies and went straight into Christmas stuff. But no, I think I'm gonna set some cozy fall movies on tonight. And I wanted to give you guys a sneak peek of the rug that came in for the laundry room. It's a 3x5, but at least it's amazing quality. So there's that. I know you're not actually getting a very good visual because the sun's coming in through the door, but it's perfect. And oh my god, can you imagine like the bigger size? But it's so pretty, you guys. And I wanted to roll it out and make sure that it would fit. I didn't have to really go in there to kind of know. I could just tell. But anyways, here's that. I also picked up the wicker basket, so can check this off the list. I stopped into TJ Maxx and yeah, I got this little basket. I really like the handles too. I like how the handles are not wicker, so it just like has more of a structure to it. It will be a lot sturdier, you know, for being a laundry basket. But yeah, so this is perfect, and it was $24.99. And while I was at Walmart, I also grabbed these two things right here. They are the cutest little slippers. They're supposed to be like a one size. Yeah, it's like slipper socks. And I think they were like $5. Yeah, they were like 5 something. And I got this little fox and then this little bunny. So if you guys remember like the move-in vlogs, my daughter and her best friend and roommate combined their favorite colors. So my daughter loves like orange and her best friend loves pink. And I just thought it'd be really cute to also send her friend something. So I'm just going to wrap this up individually in like tissue paper and label it for her, and then wrap this up individually in tissue paper and label it for my daughter, so they kind of know. I mean, they probably look at it and know based off of the color, but it'll be really fun to wrap it anyways and, you know, have a little something for her friend as well. So I also wanted to send my daughter some earrings. So while I was at TJ Maxx, I found this cute little earring set. I'll show you guys. It has the cross on it. So beautiful. I love how it has like the rhinestones and like the gold setting. Very pretty. And then I'm also going to send her this little earring set, which is so cute too. Like, oh my gosh. Look how adorable these are. Little butterflies. They're white. If the camera would focus. They're kind of like Huggies. I don't know if you guys know what Huggies are, but they're basically the earrings that like really hug your earlobe. Guess pretty self-explanatory. I didn't really know what Huggies were until like 2 months ago. So these are very, very cute. And I just need to go upstairs and grab the orange things from Dollar Tree, which I did pull out. So it's just sitting up in my craft room. I just need to go up and get it. Here's the box. This is the stuff I'm going to use for decoration. Actually, I don't have the paper I'm going to use for here. I need to figure out what that's going to look like, because yeah, I actually have no idea what I'm going to do. I am feeling like a hot mess, looking like a hot mess, and I feel like what I really need to do is sweat it out. I haven't been jogging in the last 4 days. I've been doing a lot of stretching since. I've been walking every day. But last night as I was walking, I was thinking about running, to be honest. So I think it's going to be a time to run. I've been eating too many cupcakes. You'll see why, or maybe you guys saw the cupcakes, I don't know. But I bought some really cute cupcakes so that I could decorate my butler's pantry for fall. But I did decorate the butler's pantry for fall. By the time you guys are watching this, it's already up. So you can go check it out and see the cute cupcakes. But your girl's got to walk away from the treats. So I feel like if I at least run, I'll feel like a quarter less guilty than I already do. So I'll be changing soon, and then I'll be hitting the streets, which that sounds wrong. Alright, so I ran a mile. It felt really good. So now I'm gonna walk 2 miles and then I'm gonna be done. It's a really cold day. It's like super windy, which feels really nice. Play coffee house music.
Station, Acoustic Chill Radio on Amazon Music.
Alright guys, I thought I would end today's vlog with a book review. I was actually asked on my Dollar Tree haul video from a lady, just the way that she asked, and she, you know, I don't know, I just could not say no. And I actually really love doing book reviews. If you're new to my channel, I'm a homebody. My name's Marie, by the way. I never introduce myself. I just kind of expect that you guys, I don't know why, but I just kind of expect you guys to know what's going on. But anyways, I used to do book reviews back in the day as like their own individual videos, and I thought maybe I could start again because I love reading. Hello, I turned what's supposed to be a dining room into a home library, and I never shoot, you know, vlogs really in this spot, so I thought it'd be just ultra cozy to end this way. So I got my hot chocolate over here. Yeah, so we're gonna get into it. Also, I love historical romances. They're like my #1 fave. But today it's gonna be a romance novel, and it's going to be Julie Garwood, The Bride. And just thank you again to those of you who put me on Julie Garwood. Joanna Lindsay is my favorite author of all time. You can't actually see her books, it's over here, but I have a whole section for Joanna Lindsay, and then I have a whole section for Julie Garwood. And this lady, the way she writes her characters are elite. When I tell you, I laugh like I'm in stitches with her romance novels. It has everything. It just has, oh my gosh. Now I will say Joanna Lindsay can make me cry. She has like real tearjerker moments in some of her novels. But Julie Garwood, for me, I've just noticed the way she writes her characters are in a way modern. Like, because they're set in, you know, Scotland, 1100. Okay, they're set way back in time. And she does write, you know, with, you know, a lot of that concept of just the way she describes, you know, landscaping and buildings and the way that they dress. Like, she follows all of those real historic moments, you could say. But when it comes to the personalities, she does make them a little bit more modern, if you will, because obviously back then women just, y'all know it was different. So anyhow, I just want to say that I laugh, and I laughed in this book a lot. I really love this book. So the characters are Jamie and Alec Kincaid, and what I also like is that you see these characters in her other novels as well. Honestly, one of the biggest reasons why I cut out book reviews was because I felt like I talked a lot. So I'm just gonna try to get to the point. But it's about Jamie and Alec Kincaid, and basically the dad of Jamie, she's a girl, and so she kind of gets teased throughout the novel about her having a man's name, because back in Scotland days, Jamie was a man's name. And so her father, basically 2 of his daughters get married off, and Jamie's one of them. Her sister Mary Kathleen, or what's her sister's name? I don't remember what her sister's name is, but her sister's a mess. She doesn't want to be married. She's freaking out. So anyways, Alec is like a big time Scottish laird. I say laird, I don't even know if that's like technically right, lord, laird, but it's basically like top of a clan, if you will. And so he basically, you know, takes her to Scotland, and she's English, by the way, so there's that little difference. So what makes me love this book so much, and I've read it several times already, is Jamie's character. She is so freaking hilarious. Like, all I can tell you guys is to read this, because Jamie's character, I just busted out laughing several times. She basically always gets lost. The girl doesn't know where she's going, and the way that Julie Garwood writes this little quirk of hers is just so charming and adorable. And the way that she writes how her husband Alec reacts to it, because they marry immediately, like, by the way, very beginning, married off the bat. He hightails her off to Scotland, you know, and then she's trying to adjust her life, and, you know, she's English, so the clan's kind of like, but she charms everybody basically in the end. It's just, you cannot help but to love Jamie. And the way that she writes how her husband reacts to her getting lost all the time is he's just, it's so funny. He's just kind of like resolved to it. He's just like, oh man. You know, and he's got to go fix it. He's got to go get her, turn her around, and it's just adorable. And it's interesting because she ropes that into a very tragic scene in the end about how Jamie's direction was finally right for once. And it gives me chills. Like, this lady wrote this book top notch. And yeah, so Jamie's character, she just has already this like very motherly instinct. And as a matter of fact, I think that this is all about how he had to get a new wife because his previous wife had died. And he didn't have any kids with her or anything, but when his previous wife came to him, she was apparently already pregnant with this other baby. She has this baby, but then when she dies, the baby goes to live off with the father's family, basically. Well, Jamie gets wind of this and she just like flips out and she's like, no, I'm gonna go get this kid. And the way she describes it, it makes sense for her to have gone and gotten this little girl. And she just takes this little girl in. She's like, I'm your mom, and all this stuff. And she also honors like the previous wife very respectfully. And now the other thing about this book is that there's several clans in which his clan they're like clashing with. They don't like each other. They start wars with each other. And Jamie has a run-in with almost every single clan. It's like, I can't tell you all like the little tidbits, but she does something with each clan unintentionally, because in the end she was actually betrothed to a different guy. And this guy finds out that the dad I don't even really think he wanted Jamie to go to him. I don't know how, I forget how it ended up, but he takes Jamie anyway. And the guy she was betrothed to finds this out. He comes to get her, and in the end, all of these clans kind of come together for Jamie. And it's just so freaking good. But the biggest plot is really about somebody's been targeting her and they want to kill her off. And you kind of have to figure out who that is. And they do make it kind of apparent. You don't really have to go guessing, by the way, like the entire novel. She does like tell you like kind of what's going on. And I actually had to read why am I still holding this up like this? Like, what am I doing? I had to read a scene several times, actually. The first time I ever read this book, I thought nothing of this scene. And then it wasn't until I think the third time that I read it that I was like, wait a minute, did Alec kill this person? And yeah, he kills this person. So, I can't really like go into again, I don't want to give it away if you guys haven't read The Bride yet, but it is supposed to be like one of Julie Garwood's like all-time bestsellers of all like her books. Like, this one's like her most known, I believe. It's not actually my favorite, but I wanted to start off with this one. Obviously, I'm reading a romance novel, so chemistry is a big deal. There have been times where I have read a couple of books where sometimes the author can more focus on like the thriller plot, I guess you could say, rather than the relationship or the two personalities. I adore the way this woman writes her novels. Adore. And she really just gives you just Jamie's personality, Alec's personality, and Alec is he just commands attention. She writes him very much like a king, in my opinion. Very calm, very confident, very just manly. And I really love Alec's character. He's also not my favorite male character, but I do love his character. And I don't know why, but I kind of got the impression that he was, I wouldn't say a lot older than Jamie, but for some reason in my mind, I do picture Alec to be a little bit older of the men. And when I say older, I would say like, I don't know, late 30s, early 40s kind of thing. It's kind of hard to gauge. Sometimes they don't really like tell you their age, but that's just kind of like what I'm kind of guessing about Alec. And he immediately, like from the get-go, he immediately just is in love with her. I mean, he doesn't like know it at first, but he is very taken with her and he's very protective of her. He's in love with Jamie. And the way that she writes shows like Alec's, you know, whole thing about kind of figuring out that he's in love with her, but you know that he's been in love with her from the moment he sees her, because apparently like the dad's been hiding Jamie because she's supposed to be like super beautiful. I think she's described with like violet eyes and blonde hair, and so he's just taken with her from the very beginning, and he just wants to give her and please her like in any way, shape, or form. And I really like that. Sometimes when the male character is too like fighting it, it's just not my favorite style of male character, I guess you could say. Like for example, there is a scene where she kind of gets lost. She's trying to find like a certain hut, and she gets pushed inside of it by the person who's attempting to kill her off. And she gets pushed inside this hut, the door gets blocked from the outside, and a fire is set to this hut, okay? So Jamie's trying to get out, she's screaming for Alec, and Alec hears the shouts, he sees the hut in flames, and he just instantly knows that it's Jamie. And the way that she writes this scene is just so gut-wrenching beautiful. The way that Alec just, I guess it's not beautiful that he loses his mind, but like, you get what I'm saying, right? It's a romance novel. But just the way that he runs for her, the way that he tears this door down for her, and just the way that she describes his whole, like, you know, reaction to what he finds with the door being blocked. He knows immediately. At that point, he knows somebody's trying to hurt Jamie. And so at this point, he's put guards on her without her knowing, because she's just so sweet and innocent too. That's the other thing I really like about Jamie. She's just so good-hearted, pure-hearted, but she's also kind of like a bossy bit of goods too. You know, she's like, blah, blah, you know, but she's the best character, honestly. If I had to say all of my favorite female characters, Jamie's probably in the top 3. Maybe she's number 2. But anyways, so I really love that whole scene because it's just kind of like, okay, Alec, like, you're in love with her, just get it over with and let her know. She's also written as a healer. So one of the first thing that happens when Jamie comes to his house, I don't know why, but every time I do book reviews, I go blank with descriptions because I read this stuff all the time. It's like, I should transport in time to these eras because I know it better than my own. But anyways, so like one of her first couple of nights, if not her first night, I believe, one of their men was missing. And so Alec was just like, okay, he shouldn't be missing. You know, they're a clan, they're really tight-knit. It's like a whole family deal. So they basically say, well, if he didn't come back when he was supposed to come back, he's dead. So they go looking for him, thinking they're gonna find him dead, and they basically find him dying. And Jamie's supposed to be asleep. She's asleep, but she hears everything, wakes up. She comes out to see what's going on, and she's like, nah, he's alive. And Alec is all upset because he's already, you know, in love with her. They literally just got married. This is the beginning part of the book, by the way. And he's like, you should be asleep, because he's worried about how she's not going to survive in Scotland because she's English. And so he's really like wanting to pamper her, and he doesn't want her to lose sleep kind of thing. And she's like, no, I can take care of him. He's not dying. And you know, it was a big deal for her to like step in because one, they have the priest there doing the last rites. So for them, it's like in stone that this guy's dying. They're about to go build a box kind of thing. And she's like, no, he's not dying. I can take care of him. And she does. And the scene where she's just like up all night, like taking care of him and giving him medicine and doing all this stuff. She even heals the priest who has a cough. It's just like the cutest, not the cute, cute's not the right word, but just, she's such a good character. And Julie Garwood wrote Jamie flawlessly. Sometimes with book reviews, I don't really know like how far to go. It's kind of like one of those things where it'd be different if it was like a book club situation, you know, and I'm like, oh, hey, read this book and then we can talk about it, you know, kind of thing. So it's kind of like, I don't know how far to go because I haven't announced, hey, like if you want to see my thoughts, like go read this book. So I don't know, maybe I'll try to do that. I'll try to start engaging more in my books and telling you guys, hey, just FYI, I'm probably going to do this book review in a couple weeks, so if you kind of want to read it and follow along with my thoughts, because I do prefer more like really diving into everything and giving all the details and letting you guys know what I think. I prefer more of that, but I have to say that if you, one, haven't read a romance novel, or two, you have, but you haven't read this one, 10 out of 10. Like, it's just, all of Julie Garwood's novels are top notch. And she's such a good writer that she also has these contemporary series with like FBI cops kind of thing. I'll get into those too. She made me love those. And I wasn't gonna touch them. I bought them all because I wanted to own all of Julie Garwood's collection. And then one day I was like, all right, I'll read a contemporary book. Girl. And I don't even know if she's writing anymore. Anyways, so yeah, so that's what I'm gonna do next time. I think I'll dive further into like the whole book, but I feel like maybe this time it wouldn't be fair to kind of give everything away in case you want a chance to read it. But also I guess I could say like, hey, if you don't want to know, you can always come back to this part. I could do that and just still dive in. Great characters. The plot's amazing. The way that she ropes in, like I said, Jamie's little quirk of getting lost all the time and how she ties that into a tragic scene. It's just, girl, read this book. I will link it down below for you in case you want to order it online. So anyways, I hope that you guys enjoyed the book review part. I will bring them back into the vlogs, and like this one, I'll add it to the end. That way, if it's not for you, you can skip them and they're just kind of like, you know, away from the rest of the vlog. But that's it. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.